In today's video, we're going to show you how we set up our Starlink and give a review. Let's see what we got in the box. Got some supplies in. And this is what I'm looking for right here. Let's see if they sent what I wanted. Let's see what's in the box. The bottom of the flagpole holder looks pretty nice. It's all aluminum, pretty heavy duty. And the top bracket. So I like how beefy it is. So we're gonna get that mounted up. First, I'm going to check this other box. Set these aside for right now, and we'll get into this one. All right, so this is the Harbor Freight flagpole. There's my biggest concern right here. This is what I was worried about, so let's see if it'll work. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Alright, so it has these two little rubber tabs that go on top of these bolts in here. Probably what I'm going to do, because this is 3 inches. I don't know what the diameter of the pole is. I should find that out. But I'm probably just going to use one of these to tighten it up and push it over against the flat side. So I may take one of these out, if you get what I'm saying. Like something like this. So it's offset a little bit. I may do something along the line, and I'll show you if I do. I'm thinking about if I leave this pole standard on the rig, I might drill a hole through everything and put a hitch pin in it. And that way it's locked on there and ain't gonna come off. But for right now, we're gonna set this up this way. Harbor Freight only sells these in store. They won't ship them. So if you want one of these Harbor Freight poles, they are definitely pretty heavy duty. So far it seems good. The biggest key to them, I'll show you down here. What I've read on other reviews online is when you telescope these out, all right, grab it here. Don't grab these collars. If you grab these collars, you're going to break it, and it'll get stuck in a locked position. So whenever you loosen to raise it up or tighten it, grab it around the aluminum piece, not the collar, if that makes sense. So let's get the tools out, and I'll jump back in here when we get her installed on the rig. And then also I ordered, we'll put links to everything in here. I ordered a insert that's going to go in the top of this. Sell it online, and that will hook right into the dishy. And supposedly you can use the cord inside or outside of the pole. So we'll see. I haven't received that yet, but when I do, I'll show you that, and we'll get that all installed. I got to take the ball off the top for the flag, and then we'll go from there. All right, so for these bolts right here, you're going to need a number 4 Allen head, metric, and a 10mm wrench for these. I'm going to attempt to mount mine on the bottom step just to give it a little more support. And the way they have the bolts set up, once you take them out, you have a washer on each side. One on the bolt side, and one on the nut side. Unfortunately, I put them in my pocket, so they're all mixed up. That's solid, it ain't moving. Bolted on there, it ain't moving. Ladder flexes a little bit, but that's good. So let's go figure out the other half. All right, so you gotta take the ball off, which is screwed into this that goes in the top of here. To get this out, on this collar right here, there's two small screws that hold it in. As you can see, they go into the plastic here. What I need to know is where in the pole will this bracket fit. This is going to be where I want to grab it. Oh, that is adjustable. Oh, my bad. I should have looked at that probably first. So, but obviously I want it supported at the strongest level that I can reach. Yeah, I'm gonna try it right at the bottom of that second step, because I want it to be on the heaviest part of the pole, I think. We'll go from there. But what I'm gonna do first, before I get up there so I don't have to stand on the ladder, is I'm gonna adjust this. Basically what I'm trying to do is these are adjustable. So I can pull these in, get it as tight as possible on this pole. So I'm going to do that down here to make it easier, instead of hanging onto the ladder and trying to do it up there, if that makes sense. Eyeballing it. That looks pretty good right there, so I'm gonna try that. That'll keep down, hopefully, the banging, if there is any, once it's in place. The better bit of common sense told me to go get a ladder from the barn, since I have one. And that way I don't have to hang onto the ladder with one hand and do the rest of this install. So we're gonna give that a whirl. I gotta say I'm impressed with the quality of this mount. Now, granted, it's not cheap. I think it was $94 on Amazon. And I'll put a link in there for it. But the moment of truth. Oh yeah, I got this, no problem, baby. That looks marvelous. Let me take you up there, show you what we got. Pretty good. There's your mount up top. And it's solid, there ain't no rattling. You can see, right? It ain't moving. Now what I'm gonna do probably is get a piece of stick-on rubber to put in between these maybe just to give it a little better, but I don't know that I need it. Okay, today's the day. Finally came in. Let's see what's in the box. So McDishy just clips right in like that. I'm gonna clip her in and sit her up. All right, so this is gonna be our initial setup. We're gonna leave the modem in the bay. I ran the cord over to our Harbor Freight flagpole, and we got her up there. She's doing something. I don't know what yet, but we'll go inside and we'll check it out. So we're gonna give it the real test. I don't care about them speed tests. If you can get Paramount to load, then you know Starlink is something. So look at that, like, let's go down to the movies and load movies. Boom, done. Like before, it would take me 20 minutes to load all those movies. Let's try again. Boom, loads them right up. Let's see how quick it plays. Watch now. Do. Boom, we're off to the races.
Speak about gaming, they think of breaches.
Absolutely crazy. That's a real speed test. Oh.
Do you want to see the speed test?
What do you got? And we haven't even let it transition for its 12 hours, right?
Correct.
All right, so hit that
This
speed
is just within 15 minutes of hooking it up.
Yep. Look at that. 60.
51.
Yeah, 51 total. And that's in an area of Tennessee that has no service yet. So here's the insert right here that I got online. And I got it off of Etsy, I believe, from Remotely Connected. So, came in a nice package. Basically, you take the screw out here that holds the factory ball on for the flagpole, and it actually screws into a piece inside to keep it from turning from side to side. So we've been using it for about a week and a half, and a couple things I've noticed. I'm not saying this really isn't I don't think is the best solution out there, but it's the best solution right now from what I can find without paying ridiculous amounts of money for stuff. So first thing I want to say is don't use these friction locks, okay? Go to Tractor Supply or one of them and drill holes through it, and then just drop these pins in. So what had happened is I was sleeping in the middle of the night, I heard a loud bang, and like, man, what was that? So apparently this collar here had slipped, had loosened up, maybe from the wind on the dish or something. But I knew it drove it down because it knocked this collar, which you can see won't go over that screw, but it was almost all the way off. So I know it dropped with the weight on it. So what I did was I bought these clips. I got them at Tractor Supplies. These are grade 8. You don't really need grade 8, but that's all they had, so I bought them. And just drill 5/16 hole. They're 5/16 pins, and you put one in each thing above the collar, and then you just don't use the friction locks. And then I drilled another hole at the bottom here, and that's for a pin that I drilled going through here. So basically, when I put the pole on there, I can pin it and I'll be able to leave it going down the road. That's my hope anyway. So we're gonna try that. So let me get it all back up there and show you what it looks like. All right, so originally I had it all the way up and I put the dishy on it and I didn't like it. It's too flexible, flopping around a little bit. So what I did was I came down, I put the top extension out about a foot and drilled a hole, so that's the way I'm gonna leave it. And I got one clip at every section. So we'll get it up there and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so here's what I got. I pinned it down here. I got the 2 clamps holding this in there. It's stable, you can see. And I put a zip tie on just to hold the cable for now. And it's the flagpole light if I ever put a flag up, but I doubt I will. So I may just take that off at some point. Then I use a little twisty tie to hold the cable up off the ground. And the way we're running it now, so I was originally earlier in the video, I said we would put it through and leave it in the bay, but we weren't getting good signal from the router to the internet or to our devices. I think the metal in the bay and all that was kind of distracting it. So what we're doing right now temporarily is we're coming in through the bedroom slide and fishing it through there. So I'll give you a look at the inside when we go in. Eventually, I was thinking maybe of coming in behind the TV over here, but I see a lot of guys are cutting the cord, and I just can't get myself to cut the cord. I think that it's a proprietary wiring setup on the plug from what I read, and I think you'll have issues you start cutting into it. So for right now, that's the way we're going to use it, and we'll see. We've been getting really good speeds, right, babe? So
2 thumbs up so far.
it's been good, but she's pretty stable up there. I'll have to shake the pole. She's pretty good up there. Oh, and then when I get ready to leave, I have 2 ways I can bring it down and drop the poles, but I'm only going to drop them so this section here where the clamp is. So I'll pull that pin and I'll pull that pin and drop them down, and I'll still be below the roof line. And then I'll ride down the road with it here. And of course my e-bikes and all will be back here, so we'll give that a whirl. I'll keep you updated. But right now, I think this is the best setup out there that I've seen. And I'm in a couple of the forums. It doesn't take long to set it up. I mean, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And it's a matter of me fishing the cable through, and then Terry goes in and sets the cable up and hooks it up to the modem. I'd like to carry the pole in the back. I don't want to be stowing the pole and doing all that kind of stuff too. So that's why we did the pin through here. And now the pole can't come out. So, and we'll put links in for this stuff and the pins and all that kind of stuff. We'll go from there. We haven't traveled with it yet, as we're still working on my medical issues. But we can give a little update on that, I guess. But, I had a biopsy done on Tuesday, so I'm waiting for the results, and we'll see what happens. So
Everything looked good so far.
everything so far. I mean, the radiology report wasn't very good, but we'll see. They're not always right, so we're hoping they're wrong. But we'll find out in a few days. We'll let you know when we find out, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully we'll be good to go when we get back on the road. So that's that. Let's go inside and I'll show them that. All right, so the light's a little dim in here, but basically you come in under the slide. My wife ran the wire along here, and we put these little command strips in here. That's just to hold it and keep me from tripping when I get out of bed. And then it comes under the washer and dryer, goes over every, I don't know, foot or so. And then It holds the cable. They snap in there pretty tight, as you can see, but holds the cable. And then it goes behind the TV and comes over here to our router. So that's where we're running it right now. So it keeps the wire out of the way, keeps it kind of neat. And like I say, it only takes a couple minutes to get it off when we go to leave or whatever. We went and got our trusty Home Depot 12-gallon tote. And what a lot of people are doing is cutting out the insert that the Starlink came in and using that. But if you stick that in here, I don't like it. Like, it just doesn't fit right. So what I did is I ordered up a piece of foam off of Amazon, a big roll of it, and I cut it down to fit the tote. So that I have something to lay the dishy on when we're traveling, and then this will go in there with it. And if there's room, we'll probably use this to go on top and put the modem in and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm coming up with. I don't like this flimsy thing here. So that's basically how we're going to carry it when we travel. Of course, we'll put the lid on. And again, as I said earlier in the video, there's you know, better ways to do this, but you want to pay $200 for a box to carry your dishy around, or do you want to just make something and it'll be fine, you know, that way for a third of the cost. I think the tote cost me 30 bucks at Home Depot, and then the foam, I'm not even sure what that costs for the roll. I could put it, I'm going to put a link in there, but if anybody needs any of it, let me know. Drop it in the comments. I'll send you a piece. Just tell me what size, and I'll cut off a piece and send it to you. We'll see how this holds up, and we may make some more changes as we go along. Again, I said I might put it in through the TV eventually at some point, or maybe they'll come out with some connectors that we can you know, attach to the line, so we don't have to cut the line and then add a new line going in or something like that. I'm sure Starlink will be coming out with stuff. I've been reading posts that they're working on a permanent mount for the rooftop, which would be great, ideal, but it's not out yet. So I'm gonna wait for them to come out with something as far as that, because I don't want homemade stuff that's not going to be able to use the motors and gears and that kind of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of long. It's longer than my usual videos, but it's just the way it worked out. And if you liked it, click subscribe, ring the bell, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you in the next one.